Back again. Hello, dear students. Welcome to the digital platform. This is Bomixer back again with the interesting part 2 of Lost Child by Mulk Raj Anand. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you're fine. Okay, we continue this story, the story of the lost child. The Lost Child, I told you, the background was that of the Indian background. Now, that Indian background, we are studying the psychology of a child. Now, in that child's psychology, you can understand Mulk Raj Anand has very simply taken up a village background. Now, in village background, you will be seeing that a child is going towards his he had to visit a fair. In that path, he first comes across toys, then you can say the insects, then you can say this all comes up here. You can see the first paragraph itself, though I had marked some of the words for you. These words, allays, emerged and brimming, these all three words I had already explained. Okay, now coming up with this one, next you can see that a gaily clad, in the second line, gaily clad humanity was walking through. Some walked and some rode on horses and some sat being carried on the bamboo. Now bamboo, I'll tell you, it's a kind of these kind of thing. It will be this. Okay, the person will be sitting around here. Okay, inside this, it's a kind of a box like structure, and the person will be carried because he is old maybe. So, and it's a very a lot of people are walking. It's a brimming with life, brimming with laughter. Brimming means full of laughter, and people are enjoying, though they are not of that standards of the urban area, but they are in the rural area. This kind of enjoyments are there. Now they are going there. You can see bullock carts, particular emblem of rural area. And a fair has been organized nearby the village, so everyone is walking to that place. You can see the picture. So this is the picture of a fair, and this is the parent, this is the the father, and this is the mother. Fine. Okay, now first of all, the child goes through and he finds out the toys. The toys are lined up, though it's not it's near, means he has not entered the area. I had already drawn and shown you how the area was, and he had been walking, and first he finds the toy shops that lined away, but he had not been, though he expressed a desire to have those toys, but cold stare means extreme refusal from his father's side. Extreme refusal means his father was very angry, and be showing his anger, though he wanted a toy, he requested. Pleaded is written here. Pleaded means requested, but the tyrant's eyes means he looked like a cruel fellow to him, and was very angry, showing him that he is very small, he is very old, and old enough to not to have these kind of toys and all. Fine. Now here his father looked at him red-eyed in his familiar tenant's way. So anyway, his mother managed, in this line you can see the mother managed and melted the spirit, and anyway or the other make him look towards a mustard field. Now this mustard field, I told you, it's a green area. Now next, as we go on, you will see that as he was seeing the mustard field around there, he sees the dragonflies. Dragonflies, I had shown you, it's a kind of an insect, generally having it's translucent wings, and it flies near these kind of grassy areas. and generally it was intercepted by the flight of a lone means single. This one lone means single black bee, and or butterfly means the author gives two things, either black bee is there or butterfly is there, and the sweetness of the flowers are there, and these things he was going through, and he was trying to see, and he was trying to catch them. And as he was means trying to catch them, then his mother means while catching, this is the road, say for example, means this is the footpath, okay, and he is going wavering while catching towards the road. So as you saw, there are many bullock carts and all, so that's why it's very impossible for him to control in that places. So his mother gave him a cautionary call means asking him to come back, okay, it's a precaution, okay. Now he ran towards his parents. Now as he was maintaining the speed, you might I'll tell you one thing very clearly, that the parents are walking at their speed, and the child is obviously a small one, not able to match their speed, okay. So he ran, so he's running, so their parents walking is matched by the running by the child. So the two speed, he's trying to keep at abreast means keeping up the speed, and he just comes to the footpath when he sees this insects and worms. And as he sees the insects and worms, and again he gets diverted while seeing the shade of the grove. Now he comes to the grove, and there he finds out that there are doves, okay. Now doves he find out here, okay. As he finds out that the sound of the cooing of the doves are there, and he is very much inclined towards that, and he forgets, because there was a shower of petals also, which I mentioned in the last audio. And in that audio I told you there were showers of the petals or the flowers as he was there in the grove, and he was standing there. Then he heard this voice of the cooing of the birds, and he finally tries to get on to them. Now come child, come, they called to the child, who had now gone running wild capers. So what is wild capers now? A wild caper is like this, okay, means why he is running in wild capers, means without direction, without controlling, without able to control himself. Why is he able to run like that? He is able to run like that because of the fact that he is not able to control himself. The direction of the dove is not proper, obviously it's taking flight, so he's trying to catch them. So that's what the parents is saying. Now finally they enter the converging area of the you can say the fair is like this. So this part here, all the people converge and entered, okay, like this. Now he's converging, and he first finds the sweetmeat seller. Now as he finds the sweetmeat seller here, what is there with him? The gulab jamun, rasgulla, burfi, and all this very sweet things, and which he finds very much means colorful, and very means architecture means it's a kind of well displayed matter with silver and gold leaves. The leaves means on the top it has been decorated with that. The child stared open-eyed. Obviously his mouth watered. My mouth is also watering. You know I love sweets. Okay. I want that burfi. Okay. He slowly murmured. Why? Murmuring is there because of the fact that he is very, very afraid of his father. Father is very angry, and generally he makes a plea. Why he's making a plea? A request. It's a kind of a request, and he knows that plea won't be heeded. Heeded means satisfied by the father, but still he makes it, because why? What's the reason? His father may be giving that he is greedy. Okay, so he controls himself, and he does not wait for the answer also. Now as he goes on, he sees a flower seller. Now flower seller with the garland and all, he's sitting here, made out of gulmohar flowers, or simply gulmohar flowers has been sold. He wanted those kind of things, but still he did not ask his parents, because parents generally would say that they were cheap things to buy. Understood? It's a very cheap thing to buy. That means why a boy should be asking like those things. Now again, he met with a man standing with a pole of balloons. Now these balloons, he had an overwhelming desire, because the balloons looked silken colors, different colors, red, green, purple, yellow, different kinds of colors, green, different means sometimes even if you are very even if you are this age also, class 9th you are studying, but still you will be liking balloons. Nobody can tell that I don't like balloons. Okay, I also like balloons. So okay, fine. Now here, rainbow glory of their silken colors, and he was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess them all. But he well knew his parents would never buy him the balloons, because they would say that he's too old to play with such toys. Same case with that, a toy seller was there. Same case, he will be saying that he was too old to play with those kinds of toys, means the balloons. Now, so he walked further, and he saw that there was a snake charmer here. What is a snake charmer? I gave you the picture in the last video. Please check the last video. In that, it's quite clear. The picture is quite clear. In that, it is clear that a man with a kind of an instrument tries to make a snake dance to the tune of that chorus tune that he blows out of that instrument. He danced, the snake would be dancing to the tune of that one. So he is called a charmer. Charmer means he charms or hypnotizes the snake. Snake is not able to hear. Here it is written invisible ears. Why it is written invisible ears? Because of the fact that snake doesn't listen. Okay, they don't have ears. And invisible, the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. The child went towards the snake charmer, but knowing his parents again would forbid him to listen to these or see these kind of things. So that's why he retracted, ran from there and went to the roundabout. You see that is already highlighted. There was a roundabout in full swing. But still, as he was seeing that, and he wanted, in the last line you see, I want to go on the roundabout, please, father and mother. He requests. Okay, his request is done. So as you see that the request is done, there was no reply from the parents. Now why there was no reply from the parents? Because they must have gone quite ahead. Now again he cried. A full deep cry rose within his dry throat, and within a sudden jerk of his body he ran where he stood, crying in the real fear, "Mother, father!" Tears rolled down from his eyes. I'm reading this part. Fine. Now here you will find, now hither and thither he is running. Now this part, hither and there, here and there, in all directions, knowing where to go. Means he is not knowing which side to go, because he's not in those numbers of people. Means there are many people here and there, and each one of different, maybe of same colors, they are there, and he is a lone child standing here. You understand how he is able to, and he is very short-heighted. He will not be able to see the face also. So try and understand his position. He is calling out, not knowing where to go. He again calls out, "Mother, father," he wailed. Wailed means there was a crying sense also here. Okay. His yellow turban came untied. His clothes become muddy. Why? Now he is running to different places, and the things he is getting much more disoriented. Now he is coming off. Now he tried to look intently among the patches of the yellow clothes, but there was no sign of father and mother among these people, who seemed to laugh and talk just for the sake of laughing and talking. It was for him it was useless, because he is not able to find his parents. Because as you see, children, whenever you need everything, say for example you have gone to a particular place to enjoy or something or the other, and you have your parents by your side, and sometimes what happens that you are not able to find, you generally go for a search. Okay, at that time the thing which is in front of you is immaterial for you, not important actually. Okay, even if it is the most costliest thing of the world, then it will be immaterial for you. That is what the psychology of a child is. Everyone's psychology is, means if you need somebody, so you will be more bothered about that thing. So now here what happened, the poor child struggled to thirst away between I'm reading here. Okay, now the brutal movements. Now what he is doing, he is very small, mind you. The people who are there are all old enough, strong enough, and he had to just move them away and push them away and just move ahead. Now he was getting just trampled. Trampled means stamped under foot. Sometimes while running, if you are very small, if you tumble and fall, if you fall, then the people won't stop and understand who you are. And actually what would happen is that they will start trampling you and go. Fine. Now as I feel that you need to see that a man is this in the surging crowd, stooping there, and he not shrieked at the highest pitch of his voice, father, mother, a man surging in the crowd, stooping with great difficulty, lifted him up in his arms. Otherwise he would have been trampled. He fell down and he would have been trampled, sincerely speaking. But here he asked a question, that how did you get here, dear? Whose baby are you? The man asked as he stared clearly off the mass. The child wept more bitterly than ever now. Now what happens is that, say if you are crying and somebody tries to soothe you, what is this soothing? Soothing means it's a kind of a word when somebody tries to pacify you. Somebody tries to say, please don't cry, now what happened, please tell me what is the matter, I'll solve you out your problem. Now these kind of things, what happens is that generally you will find that at that time you will be much more inclined to cry. You feel that I am in need to cry. Now the child's throat tore into thousands thrills of sobs, and he shouted, I want my mother, I want my father. Okay, now he started crying like anything. The man headed towards the place where the snake charmers were still playing. Now that the man will be going back the same way. First he would go back to the roundabout. Obviously he's standing there more or less. Okay, now here he would be going. The man headed the place where the snake charmer played, and then there also he started, I want my father and I want my mother. He doesn't want to listen to the music now. Took to the balloons, but still there also he's not even mesmerized by any kind of bright colors. Now only his main convergence of thought is that of finding out his father and mother. Would you like a rainbow colored balloon? He persuasively asked. The child turned his eyes from the flying balloons and just sobbed and sobbed, saying the same thing. Now coming to the flower seller, same thing. It happened, obviously asking for the flowers, but he is not at all attracted to that. The child turned his nose away from the basket and reiterated his sob. I want my mother, I want my father. thinking to humor his disconsolate charge by a gift of sweets. Last one means the first one they entered, you understand, they are going back the same route back to the entrance. The man took him to the counter of the sweet shop, asking, "What sweets would you like, child?" he asked. The child turned his face from the sweet shop and only sobbed, "I want my mother, I want my father." You understand, children, it's a kind of a totally a small child dealing with his feelings, dealing with the things that he doesn't want anything now. Though he goes to many places, like here we mentioned about many of the things, like the temple, the places where he visited, which he liked, the roundabouts, and many of the places. These places does not ever make him, means any kind of attraction is not there for him. He only likes to have the means he has lost his father and mother, and actually that is the reason the chapter has been named, or this prose has been named as the lost child. Who is a lost child? Here you see this child is termed as the lost child because he was first of all lost in many of the things which he saw. That was a visual things he was getting lost. Now within the feelings he is getting lost into. So children, I think so you understood. There would be some of the meanings I gave, some of the meanings I gave you, some of the meanings here I am, this one just congested means where it is much more people walking around. Jostled means trying to push away. Hefty means strong. Trampled means stamped. Surging means more and more crowd coming up. And most of the meanings I have given, and I'll ask you to go through the notes also which I give. In that most of the meanings will be given to you. So follow my classes and study well, and go through the extensive notes and question answers. And thank you very much. Enjoy your classes. Bomik sir signing off.